Okay. Well, the next place we have to go to. Oh wait, hang on. Did I actually close that bridge? It's actually been over a week since I last recorded, so I guess we'll find out in a little bit. Hang on. Here we go. It looks like I did close it. Good. Wait. Nice. That's what I need to do here. Okay. Okay. What do we have over here? A code box. Well, we just figured that that 15 we saw in Caroline's house turned into a 406. So let's try that. Ooh. Nice. Okay. Joseph for mayor. Hello, whatever here? Huh. You know, this is the first time I've ever seen this. Seriously. In all my previous playthroughs of this game, I've never once seen this note here. Mr. Mayor, at your behest, here is the information pertaining to the bleeder, its history, and some of the engineering behind it. The bleeder project was designed and built at the request of Mayor Sims to collect and dissipate the ever-increasing power in the entire ecosystem. Mayor Sims was reluctant to allow the system to come to fruition as he and others had become suspicious of Mayor Farley's death. He believed that without knowing more precisely what would happen to the cell wall at fruition, it was ill-advised to allow it to possibly open, thus allowing what might be outside in and what might be inside out. The system has the capacity to throttle all four connected worlds. The idea, as you are well aware, is to suppress the ecosystem power and thus inhibit full maturity of the trees. It was postulated, and since became apparent, that this suppression will keep whatever unknown maturity process from happening and grant us direct control over tree fruition. The rate of dissipation is sensed and regulated automatically. The power is collected through Villain-engineered extruded cables that attached directly to the dome membrane. When the maximum power level is exceeded, the dissipation phase is triggered, recreating an electrical charge followed by a discharge into the water. Through electrolysis, an amount of hydrogen and oxygen is generated. We capture some of these elements for our own use, but the great majority is released into our atmosphere. This gassing might be a cause for concern were it not for the ecosystem's ability to filter and maintain our atmosphere at near ideal levels. Excess and zero content and is that zero? Oh, excess H and O content and pressure generated by the process is rebalanced quickly by the membrane. And as you know, we discourage swimming when the bleeder is operational. Regards, CW. Well, I actually have never seen that before. Ever. Alright, first things first, we open that. Or at least unlock it, then open it. Oh, already here. Okay, we can't use the elevator yet. But we can. Oh, what's this here? Mayors. Luther Roscoe, 500 BH to 3 BH. Cora Hunrath, 0 to 10,220 AH. John Farley, 10,220 AH to 13,140 AH. Benjamin Sims, 13,140 AH to 16,945 AH. Caroline Farley, 16,945 AH to 16,975 AH. Oh, that was just 30 days. Interesting. Joseph Peter Jansen, 16,975 AH to present. Okay. Okay, before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and just open this door. Now we access. What the heck? Excuse me. Okay. My phone alarm was going off and it was out of my reach, so. Okay. What is this? Oh, the diagram again. Okay. Back a reward item. Ooh, compass. And it has an O instead of a W. Interesting. What I'm gonna look at is this journal here. Oh, the music is a little ominous. Hang on. Okay. 17,125 AH. Special Council Session 11. Discussed final approval of Farley's plan with regard to the imminent attack. The full council vote was unanimous, and I gave my final approval. Preparations update. Farley says that tunneling is almost complete. FAM informs us that the Villains just completed their construction and have started testing. 70,126 AH. Special Council Session 12. No one attended. I will inquire as to reason for their absence. What's this weird shadow here? Is this my shadow? Huh. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Let me try something real quick. You can see my shadow right here. Okay, it's not here. Okay. Anyway, 70,127 H. It appears that the council members feel like we're having too many meetings. Since the plan has been approved, perhaps we can reduce our meetings every 2 days for now. While I was asking Cecil about his absence, I also inquired about securing the tower area. 70,128 AH. Special Council Session 13. Cecil will provide a new key code for the lower lock in the next few days. Cecil was concerned about any survivors not having access, So it was decided that we would conceal the code in Farley's house and give the residents the location as they were being chambered. I also had him change the upper tower access code. A clue to that code has been placed under the direction of our first mayor. This is in a blue ink for some reason. Yeah, curious. 70,129 AH. I have decided to bring some of the more important mayor's logs with me for chambering, specifically the initial Hunrath log, and then the logs that document the history of our conflict with the Morphing. I would think we would have an extra chamber available for historic documents. 70,130 AH. Special Council Session 14. Only Pham attended. He informed me that because of the dire circumstances, the others were either extremely busy or not inclined to have long discussion about the situation. I told him I would suspend the regular Special Council sessions, and we would simply meet at the need as the need arose. 70,131 AH. I paid a visit to Farley today. I asked her to check on the availability of a chamber for the documents. 70,135 AH. I spent the last few days collecting documents. I've divided them into two categories, chambered and vaulted. The vaulted are less important, but obviously worth making an effort to save. They can be moved into Farley's vault area. The vaulted category will also include any books that we've managed to collect through the years. 70,137 AH. With less than a week remaining before chambering begins, the population is tense. We've had several town hall meetings to try to answer any questions, but the realities of the current situation make it difficult to assuage fears. 70,138 AH. Farley has informed me that there was one final confirmation from Shavar. If Farley doesn't hear from her by the end of 70,141 AH, then there is no turning back. There is an odd justice to Farley's plan in that whatever the Morphing sends to kill us will be returned back to them. 70,140 AH. Special Council Session 15. A special meeting was called to go over the plans for the final time. Farley had several instruction sheets to distribute the Morphing weapon illustration, a list of all souls that will be used as a basis for the chambering manifest, and a thorough summary of the battle plans. These will be distributed as necessary. No word from Shavar. 70,141 AH. Farley tells me that there will be at least one chamber available for historic documents. Any other extra chambers will be loaded with emergency provisions and medications in case either Hunrath or Moray are completely destroyed. No word from Shavar. 17,142 AH. No word from Shavar. Death is on our doorstep. Curse the Morphing devils to hell. 17,143 AH. I am leaving to be chambered. This journal will remain here to inform any future souls of what our last days were like. Okay, well, that journal did leave an important clue here. Our clue to the code is placed under the direction of our first mayor. Well, the first mayor, as we saw earlier, was Luther Roscoe. And there's one item on this desk we have yet to look at. Wait. There's this little box here. Can I not zoom in? Anyway, you can't really tell, but it does say Roscoe on it. So, and it says it's a compass. So we look under the direction of our first mayor, and we will see. Is that? Yes! Oh, Arizona, my home state. Whew. You don't know how relieved I am to see that there. I've actually restarted this many times just to get Arizona. That's all I wanted to do. Okay. Before we do anything else here, we're going to go back here and look at these license plates. Okay, so Arizona here is AL9742. So, look at all the photos from earlier. Not that one. Oh, here it is. The A and L are 2 and 5. So 259742. Okay. Two 59742. I'm actually going to write that down. Okay. All I wanted was Arizona, and I got it. I'm just glad that Arizona is actually an option, because I don't think all 50 states are on there. It's completely randomized. And I've documented as a lot of license plates that I've shown up there. But I'm not seeing other states, like, I don't think Utah or Idaho are among them. And in fact, I think there's like only 15 states plus DC. Okay. Hang on. Okay, is this 2? Yeah. 2, 5, 9, 7, 4, 2. Awesome. Okay, first we will go down here. Down to the lower part of this shaft. Not much to see or do here, but oh wow, they had a toilet in here? How did that work with no plumbing? Okay. Great. Now I have access to the tree. And the first thing we'll do here, we will go down to the tree in a moment, but first, I want you to observe something right here. This area right here, we're going to go down into the tree and we'll start the watering system. When we come out, this will look a little bit different. Also, there's a different loading area for the trees. Cool. Cool. Now I'm going to go back up. And this loading screen takes a little bit more time than the previous one did. Okay. It took a little bit of fight, but when the trees are now greenish, also, look at that. See how fast CW put this out here? Pretty cool, huh? Looks a lot better now the leaves are green. Okay. Let's see here. I'm not entirely sure where we go next. Okay. I'm going to take a look at this real quick here. Ah, it's green. That means it takes us to Marais, which we will not go to yet. Well, we will eventually. Also over here is a dead end. Well, there's that bleeder that we saw in that note earlier. I don't know quite how that works, but okay. Okay, I think okay, no, actually, you know what? I just remembered something. Right over here in a spot we have not been to yet. At least I don't think we've been here. Ah, yes. We'll check this out in a little bit, but first, I'm going to do this real quick. And that will make life a lot easier. Before we go here to, let's see, it's Captar, the home of the Arai. But we will not go there just yet. There was something I need to do. I should have already done this, but I didn't. What we would do here is we would take this, whoops, wrong side, this cart back to the town, because there's somewhere we'll need this in Captar in a little while. Those tunnels again, which we'll go to later. I think I've mentioned that before, but here we go. Wait a minute, did I check out that tunnel yet? Hang on. No, I don't think I did because the rocks are still there. There you go. Awesome. We will look at that tunnel later on. But for now, this cart is needed over here. Cool. Hang on. The fastest way to get there is to the junkyard, which I believe you can get to from the office. Over here. Well, not really a junkyard, maybe scrapyard is more accurate. But either way, it's this area up here. So, we're going to go on to our next world, or I guess our first one after this one, because this is technically Earth. And this is why I put that ramp down next to that big gray rock over there. Alright. Let's go to Captar. By the way, in the future, after this one, I'm going to be cutting out all these, I can't remember what it's called, I guess loading screens to get to the next world. I'll keep this one in, since I'm talking, but for most of the future ones, I will cut them out of the video so you don't have to watch it. Okay, it's almost done. Almost done. Just change the coloring. There we go. When the color changes, you know the loading screen's almost done. Ooh. Now this rock looks like it belongs here. Oh, look at that. A bunch of blue dots forming the circle we just traveled with. These trains are part of an elevator, which hopefully we can use later on, though I forget exact location. Ooh. Bridge over a very high cliff by the looks of it. Another bridge that goes nowhere. You know, there was a lake down there. This would be a very, very high jump. Well, you can't really actually do that. Now, in real life, I'm not actually afraid of heights. I know a few people are. Nothing wrong with that. Although I would still be nervous being this high. Basically above the clouds by the looks of it. Okay, what can we do here? Nothing. I guess we need power. It appears to be right here. Aha! Awesome. That may allow us to move the bridge. Not that way. Oh, but barricade, but it looks like. Let's move that down. Cool. Also moves this one over here. Oh, we can't do anything there, can we? Well, at least let's just go on this cliff over here. Yikes, we are very high, aren't we? Yeah, even though I'm not afraid of heights, I would not want to walk along this ledge like that. That would be very nerve-wracking, even for me. There's not much I'm afraid of, but that would make me nervous. Whoa, what have we here? Ooh, a staircase. We're going to check those out a bit later on. There's another red beam right there. That's what's causing the walls to not work. Oh, look at this. There's the tree. Wanted to get there a bit later on. What's up here? It looks as if something belongs here, but it's not here right now. Alright. Whoa, what was that? Another one. Going on here too, in there. Okay. I wonder. Where's the red beam? Oh. Okay. Oh, what's this? A barricade, huh? Well, I want to go there later on. Find a way to remove that. Okay, I want to take a closer look at that laser beam thing over there. Ooh, what have we here? Looks like a bit of earth was here. Ooh, take a picture of that. And this goes 100th, right? Yeah. We'll go down just a little bit, but I want to go look out here for a second. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go ahead and go inside that Earth 100th location.